Shalom, you're highly welcome, my dear brothers and sisters out there. I'm glad that you just clicked to watch this message today. Today I'm going to be talking about the Greeks and Jews. You need to be able to understand what is the distinction, the clear difference between being a Greek or a Grecian and a Jew. Now, if you are not rooted in the knowledge of truth, you might be carried away without having a basic knowledge of who these two people are. Now, the Grecians are a people who are in their own ethnicity. These are a group of people. These are, a group of nation, a nation of people. Now, they have their own culture. When you talk about the Grecians, they have their own culture, which they were being born with. And now, in this their culture, someone is trying to convert them. Someone is trying to convert them from their own culture for them to become Jews. Now, who then are the Jews? This is something that you need to be able to understand. The Jews are a nation of multiple ethnicities who have already come up. In another sense, these people were in their own cultures also, but they took the call earlier. When the call came, these people took the call faster, earlier, before the Grecians. So now, the mission of Apostle Shaul to the Grecians was to bring them from their own way, from their own tradition, into what? For them to be in that higher dimension. To be in that higher dimension. So, there is something that is happening between the Grecians and the Jews, which is something that I would like you to pay a very close attention to, because this is deep in the scripture. Because there is something that is going on. If you are not inclined in the ruach of truth, you would not see the traps which is being set among the people who call themselves Jews. Because remember what I said, Jews are collective, a nation of people from different ethnicity, just like you see the Grecians are just one ethnicity trying to be converted into a higher being, and now the Jews are already different nation, different ethnicities who have already become Jews. So something is about to happen here. So this is what I would like us to see in the Bible. So if you are with me, I would like us to go into the book of Acts of Apostles. There is something deep here which is very, very necessary and important for we to grasp. Acts of Apostles chapter number 15. I would like us to start reading from verse number 1. We start chapter number 15 from verse number 1. It says, "And certain men which came down from Judea." So these men came down from Judea, "taught the brethren, and said, Except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved." So these certain men came from Judea, and they were trying to preach what? They were trying to preach circumcision to the Grecians. Now, these people, in their own culture, circumcision is something that is what? Well accepted. That is to say, if you are not circumcised, you are not being regarded as somebody there. So you have to be circumcised. So, but here you see that these certain men from Judea are trying to convert the Grecians into their own culture. This is something that you need to be able to understand. So, these people have circumcision. We know who circumcision was being handed over to. So now, this circumcision, they are trying to convert the Grecians. They are trying to convert the Grecians to come to their own culture, which is what the culture of what circumcision, when they themselves are going to wear something that is higher, but they are trying to bring people from their own culture, tell the Grecians to leave their culture to come to them. Now, follow with me, because we're going to go into this journey to see a lot of deep mysteries which is contained therein. He said, except you be circumcised after the manner of Moses. These are certain men from Judea saying this to the Grecians. You cannot be saved. You are not going to be saved. This is what they were telling to the Grecians. Overstanding, these were certain sects, certain men from Judea. Overstanding, verse 2. When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them. There is something, there has to be a dispute. What is the point? Why is it necessary that there is going to be a dispute between the people that are trying to convert the Grecians into coming to their own culture? Because the mission that was being given to Apostle Shaul is something that is beyond bringing somebody from his own culture and putting him under your own culture, which is also what? Bonding you. Now listen to what happened here. It said, when Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem, up to the apostles and elder about this question. So there was a disputation, because he was telling them, no way. You can't bring people out from your own. You can't try to bring these people who are the Grecians and bring them out and try to push them back into your own way, which you yourself is living, in order to get to something that is higher than the one that you have. Yes, you have a good culture. You have something that is being committed to you, which is the circumcision. But you are living it into something high, but now you are going to convert somebody and try to bring him into your culture. Do you really think that what you're doing is fair? So this is the contention that was happening between Paul and the people then. So they say, you know what? This matter is a different case. So they had to go to where? To Jerusalem, in order to do what? To settle this case. Now listen to what happened here. They say, and being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenix and Samaria, declaring the conversation of the Gentiles. So they were passing and they were discussing on this issue of the Gentiles. And they caused great joy unto all brethren. And when they were come to Jerusalem, they were received of the church. So they were being sent forth. They were being received of the church. And the apostles and elders, and they declared all things that Elohim had done with them. But there arose up certain of the sect of Pharisees. No, you need to be able to understand something here now. The Pharisees, a certain sect of Pharisees arose up. This sect of Pharisees, these people are already called, these are called the Jews. So now there arose a certain sect of them. Now, what is their mission? Because when Apostle Paul now went to Jerusalem, so now this issue, this case of trying to bring these people under this circumcision was being raised. And now these people now, the Pharisees, the scribes, which are the sect of the Jews, which are people who converted, which are congregation of different ethnicity, who came together to accept over what is going on here. So they became Jews. So sect in those Jews, in different one, we have the Pharisees, the scribes, the Sadducees, and all these ones who are in that particular place now. So now there is now something that happened. Listen to what the Bible says. There is a contention, but there arose up certain of the sect of Pharisees which believed. Understand what is going on here. So they believed, saying that it was needful to circumcise them. It was needful to circumcise who? The Grecians. They say that the Grecians has to be circumcised. So this is what, because this case now has left Judea now and is going to Jerusalem directly, where it is going to be settled. So they say, oh, these Grecians need to be circumcised before they can be saved. Understand what is going on here. And to command them to keep the law of Moses. Not only circumcising them, you have to command the Grecians to do what? To keep the law of Moses. What? going on here? Apostle Shaul was like, what you people like? What are you people trying to do? Do you know at that moment, do you know what is in the mind of Apostle? You people are trying to do or frustrate his own mission, because his mission is never to draw the Grecians and put them under the law. Never. And it is never his own intention to do what? To bring out the Grecians and do what? And put them under what? Under that law of circumcision. Never. There is a mission of Apostle Shaul in order to do what? To elevate them in a place higher than what? Than putting them under the law or under the circumcision. But this sect of the Pharisees are saying no, that these Grecians who are to be converted, they have to be circumcised and they have to keep the law of Moses. You understand what is going on here? Now listen to what happened. And the apostles and the elders came together for the consider of this matter. So this matter was a very deep, serious matter. They had to come together and do what? And consider. This is a real deep word that has to do what? That has to be addressed, because this is deep. You don't convert somebody, you don't try to bring somebody, instead of putting him in a place of freedom, you're trying to push him into under your own tradition, which you yourself is living your own tradition into somewhere. Now listen to what happened in verse number 7. And when there had been much disputes, there was a lot of disputes, there was a lot of disagreements. He said, no way, how come you want to push these people under your own culture? It's never happening. You can't push them under what? Under no law. There is something that supersedes. The coming of Yahushua is to bring people free and not to put them under whatsoever kind of bondage. So he stood firm for the people of the Grecians, which he is trying to do what? To bring up high into a different dimension. Now listen to what happened. So there was a dispute. Listen to what happened. Peter rose up. So when there had been much disputing, Peter rose up. So at this time there was so much. This one is saying, the other one, the sect are saying that they had to keep, that Peter can say this, or Paul can say this, but these people have to be circumcised and they have to keep the law of Moses. This is the argument. This was the dispute. So at the time Peter rose up. Peter, the bold Peter, rose up. Now listen to what he said. Rose up and said unto them, men and brethren. This is Peter speaking now, right? He said, men and brethren, you know how that a good while ago Elohim made choice among us. Among what? Among us. Talk about among the people of what? Of the southern kingdom. Now listen, he said, among us, that the Gentiles by my mouth, talking about by the mouth of Peter, should hear the word of the gospel and believe. By his mouth should hear the gospel and do what? And believe. And Elohim which knoweth the heart bear them witness. Bear which people witness? Bear everyone witness. Bear witness to them, giving them the Ruach HaKodesh, even as he did unto us. So he opened up the door for them, just the same way that you people did what? You people had the opportunity to do what? To be elevated higher. You had circumcision was handed over to you, but yet you were being called into a higher dimension. You were being called into something that is higher. So these people also, they had the same equal opportunity, not to go under your own culture, but rather to go into that place which you yourself was also being called to. This is what Apostle Peter is saying to them. Now listen to what happened here. He said, giving them the Ruach HaKodesh, even as he did unto us. The same thing that he did unto us, so he gave it unto them also. And put no difference. There is no difference. He did not put no difference between what? Between us. Listen to what he said. Between us and them. Between us and them. So the Grecians, there was no difference between a Grecian and what? And us. So what happened is the Grecians had the same opportunity to be able to do what? To tap into that higher dimension. To go into that higher place. So it is no longer about pushing them under what? Under no any culture or any circumcision or any law. If have already been pointed to. Now listen to what the Bible says here. It says, put no difference between us and them, purifying their hearts. By what? By faith. This is what does what purifies them, no matter where they come in, no matter that they are Christians. But they have the same opportunity in order to do what? To be elevated. Now listen to what the Bible says here. In verse number 10. Now therefore, why tempt you? This is Apostle Peter saying, Kepha talking here. He said, why now therefore, why tempt you Elohim? Why are you people trying to tempt him? Because these scribes and the Pharisees and the elders of the people that were at that time, they were trying to do what? To push these people. So Apostle Peter is trying to tell them, why are you trying to tell Elohim? Listen to tempt Elohim. And listen to what he said. To put a yoke. Did you see what I've been saying? To put a yoke. To put what yoke? What is Peter right here calling a yoke? Tell me, if you are a Bible student and you say you have the Holy Ghost, right? Or you have the real Ruach HaKodesh. Now tell me, what is yoke that Peter is talking about here? What is yoke? Is it not the law of Moses that he is calling yoke? Is it not the law of circumcision that he is calling yoke? So he's asking them, why did you people want to put a yoke upon the neck of these people? Now listen to what he said. He said, now therefore, why tempt ye him to put a yoke upon the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to do what? To bear. So he said, well, how come you people want to push on and put a yoke upon the neck of these people who are what? Who are converted something that you nor your fathers cannot keep it. But you are trying to do what? To bring people from their own culture, convince them to leave their culture, and after leaving their culture, you want to push them into your own culture, which is a yoke which you yourself was under, and you were not able to do what? To keep it. But you want to impose it on somebody. Do you see how hypocrite these people are? These were the scribes and the Pharisees, people who were Jews. Listen to what the Bible says. It said here, it said, upon the neck of the disciple, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear. In verse number 11, but we believe. So because they were not able to bear the yoke, they believed. It was through belief, through faith, that they were able to do what? To overcome that yoke. So why then do you have to point these people to go under a yoke? Why not point them to that place of faith? Don't you understand what is really going on here? Listen to what the Bible says. But we believe that through the grace of Yahushua HaMashiach, we shall be saved, even as they. Even as what? As they. So they have an equal opportunity to be saved, even as you are saved also. Because what make you to be saved? Because of what? Faith. It is no longer because of what? Of keeping your circumcision. It is no longer because of what? Because of you're keeping the law of Moses. No. So since it is through faith, what prevents them from having the same equal opportunity from you? Why do you want to have to push them up? Understand what is going on here. So this was the contention. This was the reason why Apostle Peter and Paul had to leave all the way. They had to go all the way to what? Apostle Paul has to travel all the way to Jerusalem in order to do what? To settle this case. Because this was a deep thing. And you see the same problem is also lingering among a lot of people today who say that they are Jews, or they call themselves what? Hebrew Israelites. Because they don't understand. They don't understand what is really going on. They don't understand the real mystery of what is happening. They don't even know what a Jew is. They don't even have an idea of what a real Jew is. They say that they are Jew, but they are just the same thing as them scribes and the Pharisees that are trying to do what they are trying to trap people and bring them out from whatsoever culture that they are, and do what? And push them under the law which they themselves were not able to keep. The Bible makes us to understand that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. When we go to the book of Hebrews chapter number 11, It's through faith that Abraham, everything was being recorded to Abraham as what? As a man of faith. So Abraham, the circumcision was being given to him. But yet, because of his faith, it wasn't counted for him because of what? Because of his own circumcision, but because of what? Because of the faith that he had. So how come you try to do what? So this was the contention that these people were having. So they had to go all the way in order to do what? To settle this matter. And this is why you need to be able to understand and see what is happening. Let's go to the same book of Acts of Apostles. I want to show you something right there. The same book of the book of Genesis, chapter number 17. We're going to see something right there so that you understand what happened there. The book of Genesis, chapter number 17. We're going to start reading from verse number 9. We're going to start reading from verse number 9. Because you need to be able to understand the law of circumcision. To whom was it given? To whom was the law of circumcision given? To Abraham, isn't it? And to who was the law? The table of stone given to Moses, isn't it? So, and you see, here the contention was, how come you try to do what? Bring people who are the Grecians and you push them under what? Let's just read here now. In verse number 9, it says, and Elohim said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant. So this is his own covenant. Therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. This is the circumcision. So this is what they were saying, the scribes and the Pharisees, the Jews. We are trying to tell them Pharisees, we are trying to tell the Grecians that you people have to be circumcised in this form, or otherwise you're not going to be saved. This is what they were trying to tell them at that time. Instead of pointing them into what? Into something that is higher. The same thing that is higher which Abraham himself followed. Now listen to what happened. And ye shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between me and you. Between me, it is between me and you, Abraham. And that in the 8 days old, and he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation. He that is born in the house, or bought with money, or any stranger, which is not of thy seed. Did you see what happened here? So what I want you to understand, my dear brothers and sisters, is that here the circumcision was being given to who? Abraham. But Abraham had a call. Abraham had a place where he's going. Abraham had a higher dimension which he needed to also attain. So you don't draw him, you don't draw the people who are to be going somewhere. You don't push them to leave their own culture and push them under what? Under something that Abraham has already abandoned, or that he left in order to do what? To go into something higher. Listen to what happened. Let's go to the book of the same Exodus. So we have seen that the circumcision was being committed into was being given to what was a covenant that was being made with what? With Abraham. And this was where the Pharisees, the scribes and the Pharisees were stampeding. They said that, oh, these people who are the Greeks have to be what? Have to be circumcised in this form. But it doesn't work that way because they are too myopic. They just wanted to control they wanted to do what? To trap the people, but they couldn't see. So the fight that Apostle Shaul was fighting is to be able to liberate those people, to make them free indeed. You don't understand what is really going on. That is why Yahushua said, if the Son shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. Listen to what the Bible says in the book of Exodus, because we're going to read it briefly. The book of Exodus, chapter number 20. Remember what happened in the book of Exodus, chapter number 20. And Elohim spake unto the world, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, and of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before. Shall have no other gods before me. Thou shalt make you not unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquities of their fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah thy Elohim in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou... No, when you read all these things, to whom was this law given? This law was being given to what? To Moshe. For the children of Israel. What is this law then trying to tell you about who these people are? These people were in bondage then. They needed to come out from this bondage into a place of freedom. So when these scribes and the Pharisees say that they had to do what, that these people, the Greeks which are converting, had to come under this law, these people, the scribes, the Pharisees that are trying to do what, they are trying to enslave these people. They are not giving them anything like freedom. They were not trying to do what make them free. Their intention was never to make these them Grecians free. This is why Apostle Shaul said what he was saying to the Grecians. When he went to the Grecians, he was taking them in order to bring them into a higher dimension. And not his heart desire was to bring these people into a place of freedom, so that they will experience what freedom is like. This is the reason why when we go to the book of Galatians chapter number 3, he called some of them foolish Galatians. Why? Because his mission was to elevate them, but they were being trapped. They were being trapped by these Pharisees, the Sadducees. These people were overshadowing, and they were doing what? They were trapping them down real hard. So the thing was frustrating, was disturbing Apostle Shaul. So Apostle Shaul has to call these people so foolish. Why? Because they couldn't see beyond. They couldn't see what he was seeing. They couldn't realize, they did not understand that what the way he's trying to bring up is a place where they are going to really be free indeed. But if they, as Grecians, are under the law of Moses, they are not free. They are in bondage. Follow with me to the book. I give it to you raw, as it is here. Go with me to the book of Galatians chapter number 3. I want to show you what is going on there. Listen to what happened. This is Apostle Shaul talking to the Grecians, because he was trying to bring them into that place of what? Of total real freedom. Because they are living their culture. He told them that they are going to be free indeed. So he's trying to bring them there. But these people were sluggish. Some of them were sluggish. A lot of them were sluggish. Because all these Pharisees, the scribes, have already trapped them with what? Trying to trap them with what? With the law of circumcision and with what? And the law of what? Of Moses. Listen to what happened. And when this thing came to, because Apostle Shaul could see the intentions of these Pharisees and the scribes. He could see, he understood what the mission of these people were. To trap these people. And listen to what he said to them in verse chapter number 3. You foolish Galatians, who had bewitched you, that you should not obey the truth? Before whose eyes Yahushua HaMashiach evidently set forth, crucified among you? This only will I learn of you. Receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of the faith? Are you so foolish? Having begun in the Spirit, are you now perfect? Are you now made perfect by the flesh? This is what he was telling. He was calling them foolish people. Why? Because they were trying, he was trying to bring them to that place. But what happened? They were drawing themselves down, because they are now going what? Under the law. Under the law of Moses. And that law, as soon as they were going there, there is no chance. They are trapped. It's just a pure trap. A real trap that is trapping them. So they can't escape it, because even the people who that law was being given to it never kept nothing. They did not keep it. So they couldn't escape it. So, and now they are going under that law. They are flowing there, and they are now being entrapped. So what happened? Apostle Shaul, we call it, these people are fools. They couldn't see. They couldn't see, because their mind has been bewitched. Their mind has been corrupted. Their mind has been corrupted, because this is deep. But if you are there and you're sincere, you are here to search out for what is really the real freedom, to be able to You're going to get, the Bible makes us to understand, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Ask, seek and knock and the door is going to open unto you. For those whose heart are straight, you're going to do what? You're going to find your way to where you're going to, because everything good thing on the face of this universe has to make way for those who know where they are going to. You don't come here and you try and you're sneaking, trying to do things, going under something that you know nothing about. Yahushua said it and I repeat it again. If the Son, have you ever asked yourself the question why? Why he said, if the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. Why is indeed there? That tells you that some people think that they are free, but they are not free. So indeed has to come. If you want to be indeed, if you want to be free indeed, you have to come into that place of freedom. You have to come to Yahushua and understand the mystery of what is really going on. I'm here to elevate my brothers and sisters, to be able to bring them into that place of freedom. You see, the handwritings, the small traps, the things which the enemy are trying to do or put in front of you. When your eyes is open, you can see them. You can see the handwritings of all these crooks. Who are trying to do what? Who are trying to bring whatsoever thing in order to do what? To entrap you. And you keep on moving up higher. Because they can come close to you. You have to be in line and in tune to what is really going on. Like I said, my dear brothers and sisters, I'm here for truth seekers. I'm here for the lovers of truth. I'm here sent in order to do what? To bring up my brothers and sisters up into that place of freedom. And you're nothing to be able to do what? To trap you into something that anybody abandon and try to put you under that thing. No. But rather bring you into that place of freedom. And you experience and you give all honor and praises. Will be ascribed when your eyes is open and you see the work that is being done on your behalf. When Apostle Shaul was fighting on behalf of this, of a lot of brethren, they couldn't see it. They couldn't understand it. He was on fire trying to elevate these people. He was doing all kind of things, passing through all kind of things to defend the truth for these brothers and sisters. This is what is going on, my dear brothers and sisters. You have to be elevated to that place of freedom. And do not let the enemy trap you. Trap you into whatsoever thing that is going to do what? It's going to enslave you here. You can't abandon something and try to push people to go and eat those things which you left for somewhere. Why didn't you take it? No, because you can. But you want somebody else to come and do what? And continue taking those things that you were not able to take? Or you can't handle? This is what is happening. So what is the intent of that individual who is trying to push you into something that you were not able to keep? What is the intent of that individual? Simply to put you into bondage. But some foolish Galatians do not understand what is going on. I'm here for truth seekers. I'm here for my brothers and sisters in order to elevate them into a different dimension, into a place of freedom. And I say to you, Yahushua say, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but through me. If therefore the Son shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.